Alright guys, welcome to the 10-point purchase plan for Resident Evil Revelations 2. Or should I say it as Resident Evil? I don't know, they always open it like that. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we love this series. That's why we've always done videos for it, and the complete story for Resident Evil Revelations 2 will be coming out. But I do want to state one thing. Only 2 chapters of this game have come out up to this point, and I think by going through half of the game and going like crazy on the raid mode, I think we have a good impression of it. But if the last 2 chapters are completely horrendous and get rid of all of the points that we enjoyed, I will make a follow-up video. So, should you buy Resident Evil Revelations 2 for Season Pass or individual episodes? Let's go ahead and get into that.
The first reason to purchase Resident Evil is the multiple characters. I know it's a staple of the series to allow you to play multiple characters, but it's made its return by allowing you to play as both Claire Redfield and Barry Burton. This leads you to seeing different sides of the same location and getting a stealthy Saw-like feel with Claire and a I'm a lone soldier here to kill you with limited ammo kind of feel with Barry. The first reason that you wouldn't get Resident Evil is the fact that each character comes along with an escort character. For Claire, this is Moira, and for Barry, this is a little girl. Now, they aren't as bad as normal escort characters that we have to deal with on other games, but these characters are absolutely useless. You switch to Moira to use your flashlight, and you switch to the little girl to crawl through holes and see through walls. While this makes sense for the story, I don't understand why we couldn't roll these features up into one character and just have the other one follow along for the story. It just feels like an unnecessary feature to give you a second character to do things. The second reason that you would buy Resident Evil is the return to a proper Resident Evil atmosphere. You'll run through a prison, a hospital, a forest. It's all kinds of creepy locations and tight spaces. Personally, I enjoyed the return to what makes Resident Evil one of the original horror games. The second reason to not get Resident Evil is the graphics themselves. Now, I know this is a budget game, so it's something that I can kind of forgive because of how cheap it is, but the graphics look like mid to late PlayStation 3. Now, some people are freaking out and saying that this is very close to PS2, but they're not that bad. Those people are over-exaggerating. But they aren't really good. So, if this was a full-price game, I would hold it against it, but since it's not, I can kind of forgive it. The third reason to buy Resident Evil is the combination system. This time they took a page from Last of Us, so you'll get empty bottles and limited versions of the other supplies, forcing you to choose, do I want explosives, decoys, or firebombs? I kind of like having a little bit of choice in my playstyle. The third reason to not buy the game is that headshots don't matter, body shots don't matter. Zombies of the same type will have random health pools, where sometimes you can kill them with a bullet to the head, and sometimes you'll unload an entire clip into their head, body, and then knife them a few times, and they will still crawl at you and kill you. This actually happened to me as Barry Burton. It was a regular zombie. So overall, it feels a bit wonky, and it feels like they just increased the health pools of normal zombies just to make things more epic, instead of just making newer zombie types. The fourth reason to buy Resident Evil is because you can buy it on a budget. First, the game is already at a budget price, but you can just buy each chapter to see if you really enjoy it and if you want to get a taste for it. So there's no need for a large investment that you may regret later. The fourth reason to not buy Resident Evil is the cheesy one-liners. Now, I know this game is all about being a B movie, but these one-liners sometimes just really made me cringe. One scene in particular is when I had a bunch of zombies running at me as Barry, and he shot off the one-liner, "All I need to say is break out the beer and nachos." Like, seriously, WTF, what is that? The best and fifth reason to buy Resident Evil is the raid system. The whole mercenaries and bonus mission system have been completely rethought out to give us a system with daily missions, skill trees, multiple missions, and additional goals. What I originally thought was a stupid minigame feature that a lot of people enjoyed turned into something that I've spent more time on than the game itself. The last reason to not buy Resident Evil is no online co-op. Now, this isn't something that they didn't think about because they gave you a local co-op, but since it's a budget title, they pulled it from being online. I was really disappointed by this because since the game is so good, I just wanted to play it online and make one of my friends be that loser with the flashlight. Overall, I loved this game, and I feel like it's a nice redemption from the disaster that was Resident Evil 6. The story is still over the top and crazy and barely involves zombies anymore, but hey, we've come to expect this to not just be a basic zombie storyline any longer. The game feels a lot like Resident Evil again, with scarce supplies and creepy atmosphere, and as for length, each chapter is about 3 hours of story plus the raid mode features, which is another nice bonus. If you've completely written off Resident Evil as garbage, this probably won't bring you back to the series, but if you're an old school fan like me, it's nice to see them listening to us and trying to bring us something at least close to what we've been asking for. And that's our 10 points review of Resident Evil Revelations 2. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of the game, and don't forget, if you want to record high quality video just like we have here, make sure you click the link and check out the Elgato HD60. It's what we use here at Eligible Monster. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time right here.